Let you know.
All right, cough or just start saying something.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is the RSN Wrestling Podcast. Our edition, the bi-weekly edition of The Shoot. Basically, it's a bi-weekly podcast, which every 2 weeks we go ahead and air, and we talk about what happened in the past 2 weeks. We kind of recap what's going on in wrestling industry, rumor mill stuff, everything like that. We're joined by myself, the mastermind, and we got on the other line, the big guy, Rich.
What's up, guys?
How's it going, Rich? How's everything?
Could be better. Waiting to
What
see
the
what,
fuck you mean by "and"?
bro.
What do you mean by "and"?
No one fucking knows what's happening when Finn Balor's coming back.
Yo, fuck Finn Balor.
Fuck Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens is a fucking world champion right now.
He made the
Think about that.
fucking list. Doesn't matter.
He put Jericho on the list. Think about that.
But if you think about it, if it wasn't for Finn Balor going up to the main roster, Kevin Owens would never have the NXT title.
But who got injured though? We're not talking about we're not talking about what ifs. We're talking about what exactly happened.
Who was the first Universal Champ?
Finn, who was the shortest reigning? Who's the longest reigning champ?
Who got injured?
Kevin fucking Owens.
Who got injured? Yes, Finn got injured. If he would never got injured, Owens would not have that title. It would be Finn.
You know what I heard? This is gonna piss you off. I heard that people say that Finn is fragile.
Nah, he's not.
What would you say to that? What would you say to people that say that?
Has to be Eva Marie or Kevin Dunn who said that.
Of course, yeah. Of course it has to be. But it's like,
speaking of All Red Everything, guess who got blocked by her on Twitter?
Really? You guys blocked?
Yes, my list is complete.
Ah, so that's good. You should compile a list. Like, you don't have a list of Jericho?
The Cody list.
The list of us being blocked.
No.
But so far, who was blocked by?
You know how Cody had that list of people he wants to face?
Yep, his dream matches.
I'm gonna have my dream list of who I want to get blocked by. So far, I'm up to 4.
You should compile that as soon as possible and put it up on our Facebook page. But if you guys if you don't know what we're talking about, basically, Rich runs the Arson Wrestling Podcast page
on Twitter.
The Twitter page, yeah, Twitter page, should I say? And basically, he goes over the rumor mill stuff. He gets everything, all the news before it hits the mainstream, before the shit hits the fan, everything like that. So you can definitely check that out at Arson Podcast, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yep. And also, I mean, so basically, my job again is basically run the Facebook page. I mean, the YouTube page. We both co-run the Facebook page.
But there's one more thing that we're missing though. We cover the Twitter page. We cover the Facebook page. Basically, we cover the Google Plus page because that's basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We covered YouTube, but there's what's that other site that?
Well, I know we have a third member, right?
Guy, yeah, he runs that other site.
I forgot the other site's name. I think, yeah. It's 3 Lives, right? It's not NWO, right?
It's not that. It's not TNA. It's not NXT. It's not WWE. It's not ROH.
Well, you're bringing up all these promotions. What I'm hearing is this particular site covers, it covers, I think, West Coast Wrestling in Action.
America's Most Like Wrestling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Raw, SmackDown, pretty much,
NXT, 205 WWE. Live.
Mm-hmm. Lucha Underground. So
he's probably going to cover the shitty UK tournament also that no one really watched.
Of course, yeah. I mean, that was. I think
that was horrible.
I think it was horrible because of the rush, but I mean, nonetheless, you can find that too over there.
I also think that did bad because of the timing, because it was on at like 3:00 in the afternoon on Friday and Saturday, or Saturday and Sunday.
I mean, to put the nail in the coffin, I think it was just it's too rushed. That's the only thing I think. And I think for our third member, that kind of brings us to Nick Lopez, not just any Nick Lopez, the Nick Lopez.
There are multiple Nick Lopez's in this world, but there's only one, the Nick Lopez.
That's right. And this Nick Lopez he's
the owner. He's the editor-in-chief. He runs the site. What's his name? The Knight that runs the site?
The Knight that runs the site. I think that's what we call him.
I think we should just tell everyone what the name of the site is, because we know it. I don't think they know it.
They know it, and exactly it says by this one guy, of course, Nick. He's always running it. He's always going ahead and catching up with it. And remember, he's the only guy doing this, so he's going in depth with it. and it's particularly the site's name is PWO, Pro Wrestling Opinions. ProWrestlingOpinion.com. Check that out on Facebook. Everything else like that. We have all over the our YouTube videos and everything like that too. So be sure to check that out too.
It gives you a perfect segment by segment breakdown. You don't even have to watch the show till after you read it, and you basically picture everything in your head.
That's right. I mean, before we move on, I want to go ahead and you want to go ahead and throw up some honorable mentions right now. These past 2 weeks, we lost some wrestling legends, of course.
Quite a few.
Quite a few, exactly. First one, of course. I mean, we heard about Nicole Bass. Pretty much, she passed away recently.
She was like the least well known out of the 4 that passed away.
Yep. It was actually, I think, on WWF television, right?
Yeah.
For a while. I mean, another person too, another great legend, Chavo Guerrero Sr. So Chavo Guerrero's father.
Chavo Classic.
Yep, Chavo Classic, the original Chavo Classic. I mean, the Guerrero family, I mean, we give our wishes, our condolences, our prayers. It's a hard time. We can understand that, and rest in peace. But another great individual also, somebody that was always feared, someone who was a big prominent character in WWE.
George the Animal Steele.
George the Animal Steele. Same guy that would have that green kind of tongue, everything like that, doing all this kind of crazy stuff.
Fighting the turnbuckles.
Yep. Carrying Miss Elizabeth all over the place, taking her away, and all this stuff. But that's really unfortunate. So again, to their families,
And there's one more.
Who else?
What was it? Ivan Koloff, I think.
Oh yes.
I'll tell you right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to go to the RSN Facebook page, which you guys should go check out.
Yes. Which we actually go ahead and post these kind of things too. So
yes, Ivan Koloff.
Ivan Koloff. So of course, all these great legends have passed. It's kind of tragic to hear that.
That was a cheap little plug for the RSN Facebook page.
We always do cheap pops here. We're always like that. We do ribs and pops here. So ribs and plugs. So you can always say that right here. This is RSN. So that's if you've been a viewer for a long time, you probably know that we do this all the time. So if you're still here, thank you very much. We appreciate your support. And like I said, there's more from us to come. More plugs, more pops, more all that stuff. But I mean, moving on.
You're gonna hear us plug the PWO website here and there, like at least 4 or 5 times we try to do it.
We always have to. I mean, of course, it's always a good site too. But no lie, it always you can go on there and check out all your stuff too, like we always said before.
You can check it out on any smartphone, tablet, any computer, desktop, computer, laptop, iPad, Nooks, Samsung tablets, anything.
Yep. And pretty much it's at your fingertips, so that's the best part. But I mean,
it's actually in my bookmarks on my phone, so I just go right to the internet and hit bookmarks, and it's right there.
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, of course, that's what I would suggest. For you to bookmark, and any viewers are watching, for sure.
Favorite it, bookmark it, whatever you want.
Yep, all that. Get it easy to access. Like I said, in-depth reviews. But I mean, nonetheless, moving on. Recently, I mean, the last podcast we kind of talked about the whole situation, road to WrestleMania. Pretty much the days are winding down, and I mean, pay-per-views are passing. We recently had, of course, the Royal Rumble. Then after that, Super Bowl weekend. Then after that, we finished off with Elimination Chamber. So we kind of finished off with our preview and things like that. But we're just gonna go from there, and pretty much up till now, what's going on. So I mean, what's your thoughts on the whole pay-per-view, Rich?
To be honest, I thought it was a great pay-per-view. I thought Chamber was great.
Yeah, I think it was phenomenal. Indeed, I agree with that. I mean, I think it was well put together. It made up for Royal Rumble, I think.
Do you know why?
I know why too. Yeah.
Because it was a SmackDown pay-per-view.
It's a SmackDown pay-per-view, indeed. Yeah. I mean, nonetheless, it's also Elimination Chamber, which I mean, you got to think about that. That's always a drawing.
Wait. Going back to what we said in the preview, we're going to refer to it as No Escape.
No Escape. But I mean,
which is what they call it in Germany.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good name. But I mean, also, have you checked out that structure?
I didn't really. To be honest, I didn't like the new structure. Like, why are there mats on the floor? Why is
It seems like
why are the chambers plastic?
I guess they're looking for safety.
I do.
And I guess
The one thing I do like is they gave more height in between the chamber and the top of the chamber, so you could actually do moves off the top of the chamber, which I like.
yeah. I mean, what I also like is that that Spectre on the top. I think that's pretty dope when you see the W there and everything like that aerial view. But also on top, like the whole glass plane and everything like that. What I like about that is, let's say if you're a fan in over there, where before everything was kind of chained up, you wouldn't be able to see everything. Everything would be visible. Now everything is visible. You can be sitting all the way in nosebleeds, and you see exactly what's going on. So I think that's pretty neat too. But I mean, it's kind of bullshit because it's kind of like this reoccurring theme, don't you think? Where it's like, okay, they had it in Survivor Series in New York, same kind of thing, where it was like elimination chamber, and then
The first
boom,
one.
yeah, it was like we all thought it was glass, but
This
someone
this
was feared.
plexiglass.
It's plexiglass. It's like basically bulletproof glass, or some kind of plastic or derivative.
I was
And
fine
it's
with
like,
that though. I liked it.
it's okay. I mean, but let's talk about the outcomes. So of course, um, we had Alexa Bliss versus Naomi. So I know you were pretty pissed when your girl lost, right?
Pissed. I was freaking fuming.
I was kind of pissed. I was like, oh man, that's fucked up. But I mean, nonetheless, Naomi won. She won the title. It was a good feeling. It was like, okay, and the whole crowd was giving her a good response.
She did. I'm not gonna lie. She did deserve it. She worked her ass off for the past 8 years.
True, she did. I mean, regardless, I think if it was a Kevin Dunn decision, okay, whatever. I mean, it makes no difference. I mean, it's okay, but that's what happened. And I mean, you heard about the injury, of course, right?
Yeah. Which I actually have
And
breaking news.
Yep. Just let us know about that.
Should I recite?
Go right ahead. Yep.
On SmackDown, about 20 minutes ago or so, maybe a little bit longer, depending when you watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Naomi had to relinquish the title due to injury, which was sustained at Elimination Chamber. So Daniel Bryan made Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch for the title, which actually makes me happy now because Alexa Bliss is now a two-time SmackDown Women's Champ.
That's right. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, fine. She made history one, and also she was the longest reigning, I believe, champion in SmackDown Women's Championship history. So that's something.
And it's my girl Alexa.
Of course, of course, we all like a little Harley Quinn in our lives. We need that. But moving on. So of course we got the women's division, should I say? It's kind of booming right now.
This women's division is friggin' amazing.
Yeah, I mean, well, speaking of the women's division, so of course Mickie James got her thing right now. How do you feel like Mickie James' performance right now? I feel like she's kind of adjusting now to the style now.
Yeah, she's still getting used to the new WWE.
Yeah, I mean, before I think she was a little bit stiff. I think she was following the old style where the Divas wrestling was. Now it's like get out of that and follow what's going on now, like actual grappling, actual technique, and things like that. And I think Becky Lynch is a perfect opponent for that. If you keep having her fight her 3-4 times, she'll get the gist of it, no problem. But I feel like
I think she's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I think it feels like it's kind of like Jericho, and Owens. It kind of feels like that kind of thing. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, in a sense. I mean, of course, you got the older, veteran diva, or veteran, woman, and you got the protege. Same thing with on Raw, where it was Chris Jericho and that whole thing going on, that whole dynamic. But I mean, so of course, I mean, before we go on to Raw, and of course, following the elimination chamber and things like that, how about after? What should I say? So of course, later on in the night, big news that happened: the elimination chamber match. So of course, we talked about the whole new setup, kind of like kind of sucked and all that. But I mean, what do you think about the whole setup that they had? Of course, I think they had the Miz as the last person, and they had the first two people as Styles and Cena. How do you feel about that?
I wasn't happy that they had Cena and Styles start the match, but when you actually watch it, it turned out to be great having them two start.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good to see that. I mean, of course, I feel like they should have teased for it and then built it up. But I think SmackDown has this kind of trend where they're willing to give you the main event because, of course, they're like the babyface show, where it's like, okay, the babyface, it's like a babyface management running basically. You have Daniel Bryan, the face, and then also you have Shane McMahon being the face, McMahon and all that stuff. And then on the other side you got Raw, Stephanie McMahon being the evil, dastardly inbred woman that she is, and then of course you got Mick Foley, just the innocent, old man that's still doing the stuff and still mispronouncing cities and all that stuff. So I mean, it's
He's
kind of
not
like
mispronouncing. He's just saying different names.
yeah. I mean, of course he does them many times where he botched the names and everything like that, and then everyone's like, whoa, you know, you got to slow your roll there, and then you just like, oh shoot, I fucked up, and they got a whole bad pop and everything like that. It's like, come on, just make him heel. Why not? But I guess that's how they just want it right there. That's kind of like how it is Raw versus SmackDown. So no less. But I mean, so Bray Wyatt is the champion. Of course, I know you're pretty excited. You're pretty happy about that, right?
Yeah, I was very ecstatic.
Right? Did you think for a second that Cena was gonna win?
No.
Or actually, AJ was gonna win. Do you feel like AJ was gonna win for a second?
Yeah.
I actually thought for a long. I thought they were gonna actually like they were gonna go ahead and bury Bray Wyatt
Holy
again.
shit! Breaking news.
Yes. What's up?
Finn Balor has finally released when he is coming back.
Really? When did he say?
Either Fastlane or the night after Fastlane.
What are they gonna do with him though?
They're gonna throw him into the title picture. He technically gets his rematch.
But aren't they shooting for Brock and Goldberg for the title?
I don't know.
I mean, we're gonna get to that probably later on. I mean, of course. Elimination Chamber. Let's say. So of course, we had. Of course, I mean, what I liked about specifically, Jim Ross put it really, really smoothly. He said this in one of his podcasts. He said that it wasn't like okay, Bray Wyatt hit Sister Abigail and then a person kicked out. He hit Sister Abigail, a person kicked out. If you notice, every time he hit Sister Abigail, it hit. It locked on perfectly, and then when the happening was, the person was eliminated right then and there. He did it, I think, to Dean Ambrose, got eliminated. He did it to, I think, AJ, or no, Cena. Cena got eliminated. He did it to AJ. AJ got eliminated, and that kind of helped him win the match. So I think that's something to take into account too. I mean, that it's kind of like do you want to see somebody kick out a DDT again? When back in the day it was like a big move,
No, it's just it's like the super kick.
Yeah, like a super kick has been overused. It's like, come on, But don't you feel like it kind of pisses you off when you see that? Like, when let's say someone does a really big move and they just kick out right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say AJ does a Styles Clash. Like, I think in the Royal Rumble this happened. Many times you did a Styles Clash, you thought it was gonna be over. Like one time I was like, okay, whatever. They did it 2-3 times. It was like, oh my god, he's done. Oh, he kicks out again. What the hell? It's kind of like they're kind of burying people in a way, don't you think?
Yep.
I mean, they gotta do something with this. It kind of pisses me off a little bit to see that. They gotta really do something. But it's like, what can they really do with this?
It's called the finishing move.
Yeah, that's right. It should be a signature, like a finisher move, and then pretty much, that's it. Lights out.
It's like in the wrestling games. You have the signature and then the finisher. The signature sets up the finisher.
Mm-hmm. And it kind of is like, you kind of pique the audience. You see that reaction, right? Where, let's say it was like they're counting, the person's the finisher, they're expecting a finish, and there's no finish. It's like, oh, wow. Like, oh, they're trying to tease, like a near fall. Okay.
That's fine.
But they can't keep on doing it,
Us fans enjoy the near falls.
Yeah, I think we do, but I mean, at the same time, it's kind of like, it gets kind of annoying. It's like, okay, like, let's say, for example, Bray Wyatt in 2014 or 2013, pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view, he kept losing. It was have this big build, face in the match, and then lose.
To be shut down.
Yeah, basically, same shit. I mean, but what about this? Do you think that Bray Wyatt kind of came a long way from here? You feel like it's a long thing, right? Like a really big thing. He came a big way from here, right?
It's well overdue.
It's well overdue. I think he very much deserved it, and it's like like I said, I think I said this probably last year sometime. I think 2017 is definitely Bray Wyatt's year. I mean, I think I also said probably Brett. I mean,
yeah, I think we both said that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what about Baron Corbin? Like, for example, I mean, I single-handedly think that Baron Corbin is going to be champion this year for sure. I think they did a really good job of building him. Have him do something big at Mania. I think he's in line for a big push after Mania. I think.
I think he's going to win the
The IC title.
The IC title.
Yeah, I mean, of course, he attacked Dean Ambrose in Chamber, and I guess that's going to set up Baron Corbin and Dean Ambrose. But I think we were talking about this before. The whole ladder match at Mania, like you know how every Mania they have an Intercontinental title ladder match.
I think it should be a cruiserweight.
Maybe cruiserweight, maybe a women's match, something like that. But that's again yet to be seen. Also, what about Money in the Bank? I mean, I don't know if you heard about Money in the Bank. They said I think since Goldberg resigned or something like that, that it was originally for Raw, but then they pushed it for SmackDown pay-per-view. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, why not just bring back a WrestleMania?
And have one winner, and he chooses the title.
Yeah, kind of like how Royal Rumble is. Like, of course, the winner wins, and then he gets to choose. Talk about Raw. So before we get to like SmackDown and all that.
Well, before we do that, I don't know if you heard this rumor. Mm-hmm. Nakamura is saying AJ doesn't have a WrestleMania opponent. Nakamura wants to step in to fill that spot.
I see that. I'd buy for that. Yeah, that's right. I mean, did you hear recently this past week that I think what Goldberg and since Goldberg resigned, and I think they have like big plans for the night after Mania, like the Raw after Mania, like some big call ups and also some big build up. I heard that's gonna be Goldberg and Shinsuke Nakamura in some kind of fashion. Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they said supposedly they're gonna try to. I think they're teasing. I think it's penciled in that Goldberg and Shinsuke Nakamura, possibly Shinsuke, like Nakamura is gonna have a call up, and then pretty much gonna set up right there, just the thing right there with the program between Goldberg and Nakamura.
No, I don't.
I mean, what do you think about Goldberg?
I don't like it.
I don't like it at all. I think it's just BS. It's like if it was 10 years ago.
I want Shinsuke versus AJ.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I think the fans were kind of petitioning for IC champ versus IC champ. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Daniel Bryan. That would have been a phenomenal match. Why not have this happen at Mania? I mean, I think we also talked about. Well, we didn't have a chance to talk about Slam and Lammys, right? No. Pretty much our whole year-end in review podcast, where we just kind of recap 2016.
You mean the award show that never got canceled?
That never got canceled, right. We're planning on doing soon in the near future. But I think yeah. I mean, I'll just spill it right now. That's a match of the year candidate for me. When they were in NJPW, Wrestle Kingdom, that match between Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles, I think is single-handedly put both of them on WWE roster. Sure.
Well, that was their swan song.
Yeah, I think for sure that was their swan song. That was their actual match that got WWE's attention to say, these guys are real talents. Let's bring them in, But
I mean, just waiting.
Yeah. I mean, what about this too? Think about let's talk about the night after Raw, the Raw after Elimination Chamber. So they had this whole thing in Las Vegas. Pretty much it was like Kevin Owens, Jericho, whole celebration. Was it a festival of friendship or something like that?
La Fiesta de Amigos.
Put it well right there.
As Jericho said in Spanish.
Yep. And I mean, of course, they had this whole thing. They had, I think the those dancers up there and all that stuff. They had the whole kind of deal, all Vegas themed. And then next thing you know, turn happened. They kind of broke that team up right there. I think we were speculating that at Fastlane, that's when it was going to happen. But they kind of did it earlier.
I thought Jericho was going to screw over Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I thought it was going to happen at Fastlane where he screws him over and that's it. End up setting up a feud. But I think they went totally different route. They did it earlier, like really early. Think about it. So it's like they kind of set up with this thing where it's like, okay, now Kevin Owens, every time up to this point, he's won the title with Jericho's help. So now he's going to
WWE for trolling us.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, and at the same time, it's like, okay, this guy, he's walking in there without Jericho. Will he win the title? And I guess that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna end up doing some kind of thing where. Well, what do you think about what's gonna happen at Fastlane? Do you talk about Finn Balor coming in? But I think it's gonna work out.
To be honest, it's like the Rumble. I think it's unpredictable right now.
I think it's completely predictable. I think it's all Vince. Because if you think about it, Vince kind of has been letting go of control. Like, regardless of all the pay-per-views, like he said, okay, you know what? That's okay. That's all right. That's okay. He's given the okay for most things that fans want. But then when it comes to Mania, it's all him. He starts acting like a little 15-year-old girl that has a Sweet 16 and is planning her Sweet 16. Same kind of deal. It's like, oh my God, this is all me. This is all my shit. I'm gonna do this for me. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care what anybody says. This is because it's my show. I want all the strings. That's all. I think that's pretty much all.
It doesn't matter because Vince is gonna throw freaking Roman Reigns in the title picture, no matter what, no matter who it is. It's gonna be Roman Reigns in the title picture somehow.
This Mania?
This Mania, next Mania, the Mania after, the Mania after, the Mania after.
He's the golden boy, right?
That's the child that Vince wish he had.
Yeah, that's right. I think so. But I mean, I think it's also, well, here's the thing. I think from what I'm hearing, of course, they want to build Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. And I think Vince is highly, like, he really, really wants to have it be a title match between the two. Where Goldberg wins the title at Fastlane and fights Brock Lesnar for the title. I mean, that I think is kind of like, okay, if that happened 10, 15 years ago, I guess people would kind of bite that and say, okay, that's cool, But now it's like, do you really want to see that? Do you really want to see another flop?
But Vince doesn't care, like we say.
Yeah. It's like, come on. And then, of course, I think what they want to have, rather than I think everybody else wants to see this, they want to see Undertaker versus like maybe someone like AJ, maybe John Cena. No, it's not gonna happen. They want to have it be with Roman Reigns. I mean, with Roman Reigns or like Braun Strowman.
And Roman.
We really want to see that. I think Vince really just fucked up because it's like, for example, Sting. Sting, he could have had that match at WrestleMania 31 with The Undertaker. But instead, it totally flopped that and said, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to have him face Triple H and have him get buried. Why? I don't know. And then, of course, he got injured, and everyone's like, oh, I guess we're never going to see that ever happen again. We're never going to see Sting and Taker in the same ring.
Because Seth Rollins injured him.
They had the chance. They had the open chance, but they fucked up. So, like, come on, they got to do something here. It's like, they got to keep on trying different things, but I guess they don't want to listen to fans when it comes to Mania because Mania is, I guess, that's just him, But I mean,
they listen to fans.
Yeah.
Once,
I mean, what about
once Triple H takes over, then you're gonna hear the fans actually get a say.
Yeah, I think that then actually WWE will start becoming something there. Because don't you feel like Vince McMahon's kind of out of touch now?
Kind of.
Kind of. I think he would be completely out of touch. I mean, have you seen that recent special on WWE 24?
Which one?
Where he's like doing for WrestleMania 32?
Not having watched it yet, but I will.
Oh, you gotta check it out. If you see this guy, he looks like he's getting senile. Like you look at him, he's getting older and older and older. It's like he's not gonna stop. He's gonna stop when he's dead. That's what's gonna happen. I mean, I'll give props to Vince McMahon. He's one dedicated motherfucker. I'll tell you that. Like he's crazy. But there comes the point, like, okay, you gotta do something. You can do something. You have the opportunity, you have the tools, but you're not using it. So why not? It's just sad. But I mean, well, what about? Let's talk about, of course, the whole thing with Randy Orton. And of course, he came out, I think, that following Tuesday, and he said that he's gonna. What is it? He said, "Oh, I don't want to face Bray Wyatt." What do you feel about that? What have you been hearing about that?
I think he's trolling everyone.
You think it's a troll?
Yeah.
What makes you think it's a troll?
It's Randy Orton.
But supposedly he's possessed by Bray Wyatt. Didn't you see that whole effect that Kevin Dunn did to his eyes?
Yeah, but like I said, it's Randy Orton. We've seen him troll everyone.
I hope it comes out of nowhere, though. Like, you know how they say RKO out of nowhere? I hope this really is out of nowhere. But what about that triple threat match on SmackDown for the title?
I thought it was great.
At first, when I saw Luke Harper come out and what you call it, beat on Bray Wyatt, I was like, oh man, they're gonna really do this. I thought they were just gonna have Bray Wyatt win the title, hold it for like 2 days, and that's it. Lose it, and that was his title reign, and then end up giving it back to Cena. I thought, oh my god,
that's what a lot of people were saying.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, this is not happening. And if you notice, the whole crowd was booing. It's like, oh no, come on. And then next thing you know, he wins, he prevails. Everybody's like, okay, it's good. And then Randy comes out and says, oh, cuts a promo and says, all right, I'm all yours. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not gonna face you at Mania. But how would you see them building about it? Do you feel like it's just gonna happen like a turn out of nowhere and that's it?
I think so. But I think they're gonna keep going with Orton versus Bray feud.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it also comes down to, I think, the thing about it, Eric Rowan didn't come back on TV, right?
Not yet.
Hopefully he comes back, and then I guess they can involve him in some way. And also Luke Harper. I mean, what's Luke Harper gonna do for now? I mean, he's gonna continue feud with Bray. He's gonna continue feud with Orton. We don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's unpredictable. I mean, of course, road to WrestleMania, it's always unpredictable. Things can always change. But I mean, speaking of things that can always change, let's talk about that Monday, the main event for that following Monday. It was, I think, was it Charlotte versus Bayley for the title. Did you hear that they're saying that Bayley is a mark? She's literally a wrestling mark.
Oh, she's a big wrestling fan.
She's a wrestling fan, yeah. But I mean, in a way, I mean, it's kind of like she is a mark, but it's like, she gets the most reaction. She sells the most merchandise, and you're gonna call her a mark. So what? She's a mark. So what? She's still making you money.
Every wrestler at one point in their life was a mark.
That's right. AJ Styles, all the Kenny Omega, pretty much all the indie guys are marks because they pretty much followed wrestling. They loved it. And what, you're gonna call them out on it? And what?
Do you know who else are marks?
What else are marks?
The 3 guys who work at RSN Podcast.
Oh yes, indeed. We're all marks too. So I guess we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, according to some people in WWE.
Do you know who the biggest mark of all 3 of us is, though?
Who's that?
The Knight that runs the site.
The Knight that runs the site, indeed. You gotta be a madman to run a site like that, don't you think?
One man runs this wrestling site that covers all the major companies, even the little guys.
Nick Lopez is the real wrestling internet mark.
And he runs the best wrestling site ever.
That's right. The best wrestling site ever that offers the in-depth review. So think about that.
Free in-depth reviews.
Indeed. You can't get any better deal than that. But I guess we're all marks, right?
We don't ask for people to pay $9.99 to listen to us.
That's right. We're not like we're not going over and shooting out bullshit tweets like some people are on the internet. Call themselves journalists.
No, but we get blocked by people on Twitter.
Yeah, we get blocked on Twitter, but still, we're gonna have our list up.
By Eva Marie, Jim Cornette, Vince Russo, Kevin Dunn.
Bring the list out. We gotta make a list. We gotta make an actual list like this.
I'll do it. I'm fine with that.
Let's do it. But then, I mean, did anything happen that following SmackDown?
Nothing big.
Well, I think they had, of course, let's talk about, I guess, this week's Raw then, I guess. This week's Raw, of course, building up for Fastlane. They have this whole thing with, I think it was what? Now they're in California. And I guess this whole kind of thing is going on where it's like, okay, Kevin Owens comes out, cuts his, I think he cut a really good promo that time.
I'm going to reminisce right now.
Yeah.
About 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Guerrero did the same exact promo.
You're right. You're fucking right. Exactly. He did.
With Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, that's right. He actually did cut the same exact promo. You saw that whole thing.
Sitting in the chair, spotlight on him.
Yeah.
Whole arena dark.
Yeah. That's when he had that whole kind of thing going, right? Where he was like the heel and all that.
Fighting over Dominic.
Yeah. Oh, right. That's when he was like the big. That's when he was like the big.
That's
big
the shirt.
heel.
I'm your poppy.
I'm your poppy. Right. I remember that. Yeah, that was the I am your poppy stage, I guess. And he was like the biggest heel ever, I think, at that point.
Which you could also check that review on ProWrestlingOpinion.com.
Indeed, you can. I mean, also,
for that episode.
And it could possibly be in a new topic that we might have in the near future. So you can definitely see that maybe on our YouTube page. But I mean, yeah, you're right. It actually does draw some kind of similarities between Eddie Guerrero kind of having that kind of thing, and then of course Kevin Owens. So of course he cuts his. It's like a dark spotlight. Everything's pitch black. He has that title on top of him. He's in a suit and says, I think he says some things along the lines of, he's like, and I think he was saying some things regarding Goldberg, like the way they did it. I think we were talking about this before. I think the last podcast. Goldberg is a big task because think about it. Goldberg can only last 5 minutes. He can't wrestle for that long. How are you gonna make this guy look strong? And he hasn't wrestled.
Kevin Owens could last like 45 minutes to an hour in a match.
And he can cut one hell of a promo too. So, and I think,
to be honest, this might be Kevin Owens' biggest test in WWE. To put over a part-timer who only has 5 moves and could last 5 to 7 minutes in a match.
Yeah. I mean, of course, then they got Brock Lesnar also doing this whole kind of thing. Did you see the whole promo where he's like all up against the camera, just like, I guess convulsing and shit? I don't know. It was just hilarious to me. I was looking at it like, oh my God.
Another person who can't last 10 minutes in a match.
Exactly. But, I mean, I think promo-wise, he can't cut a promo. But I guess that's the perfect fit for him just to go and stare in the camera and just do that. But
that's why he has the mouth in Paul Heyman.
Well, think about this. He's getting paid all his money, right? So for that specific segment, he sat there just looking at the camera and just got paid that much money. Think about that.
And you have to remember,
isn't that fucked up?
He got released by UFC.
That's right. Now he's, I think, retired from UFC officially. But
he got cut by the new owners.
You're right. That's probably why he's pissed.
The new owners cut him.
Yeah. I mean, well, because of drug testing, right? From what I'm hearing.
No, because the new owners don't like him.
I see. So they probably don't want to be a part of that $4.2 billion.
Why should they have to pay him when he's going to fight once every 5-6 years, and then go to WWE and make more money and show up 2-3 times a year just like to fight?
Yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing. I think with Brock Lesnar, let's look in the case of Goldberg. Right now, I think he has everything set for him. All the stars are aligned. WWE's actually done favors for him. Because for one, you got on one side Brock Lesnar.
They've done more than enough for him.
More than enough. It's crazy. Like they're basically doing all the work for Goldberg. Goldberg pretty much doesn't do anything except go into the ring, make an appearance, and just do a jackhammer, spear, and that's it. He's done. They're paying him for that much. And think about it. You're getting one guy that's getting paid just to do 2-3 appearances, looking into a camera. The other guy just gets paid for just doing a jackhammer, a spear, and that's it.
One guy gets paid to do 15 German suplexes in the match.
And then you got, of course, Kevin Owens, the guy that always puts on good performances, good promos.
Here.
He's like a top heel.
Here's a question for you. Name Kevin Owens' worst match. There you go. See? No one can name it. Really if you can't name a match within 5 seconds, he's not a bad performer.
But here's the thing. Here's a big challenge. Could Fastlane be his worst match ever?
I think so.
I think it's a big challenge. I think they're putting a lot of pressure on Owens. So if he does and he makes this a really bad match, think about this. Not only does he lose the title, it's kind of like, okay, we had you do this one task to make this guy look good, and you failed. So now...
But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
If Kevin loses, does he really fail in making someone look strong?
Not really.
Exactly.
Not all right. So not our eyes, at least.
He can't lose.
Yeah. Well, I think he solidified that this past Monday for sure he did, because if you saw that promo, that kind of solidified right. If Vince doesn't see that this guy is trying his hardest and he actually did put on like one hell of a performance, not only in his promo work but his ring work, I don't know what you're smoking, Vince. I think you're smoking some freaking I don't know what you're smoking.
How long has he been a wrestler for?
Almost what, 20 years?
Something like that?
Yeah.
How long has Goldberg been wrestling?
A couple appearances here and there, right?
Like, yes, he's been a wrestler for over 20 years.
Yeah.
But how long was he out of wrestling for?
For a while. Probably 10, over a decade or more.
Exactly. See? Kevin
I
Owens
think it's
never
just,
stopped.
yeah, I think it's just, I think, well, here's the thing. I think everybody can agree that Kevin Owens is one hell of a performer. I think from everybody we can say that. And
What's
regardless
the
if he wins or loses,
longest
doesn't matter.
Kevin didn't wrestle was maybe a month in
Yeah.
between going from the Indies transitioning to NXT.
Right. To cut promos and everything and all that. And also footage.
So at most, maybe a month he didn't wrestle.
Yeah. But I mean, I think you're right about this. I think that whether he wins or loses, he's still he solidifies probably one of the top workers in the company.
He is one of the top.
Yeah, I mean, but it's kind of stupid, right? Think about this: you're gonna have two part-timers fight it out for the title, and
one's gonna leave, one's gonna stay.
One's gonna leave, one's gonna stay, and you're expecting that to be your headline match when 10 years ago, 12 years ago, you had people booing people out. You had people booing the two of them out.
And that was a middle of the card match.
That was exactly, and it was like it was built up as to be like this big match, but it didn't happen. It's like it didn't happen the way that we wanted it to.
Holy shit!
Because we already knew what's gonna happen.
They just planted a seed. What was the match that we both agreed was probably going to happen at Mania? Match.
For the title?
No, an intergender match.
Miz and Maurice versus John Cena and Nikki, right?
Yes. They planted the seed at Elimination Chamber. And I think
I remember that.
I think they're bro on what I just saw on SmackDown.
That's a Kevin Dunn right there. He wants to basically build Total Bellas and just get ratings for that girl. It's stupid.
Basically, what happened was it was Natalya versus Nikki Bella in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
This is the Elimination Chamber, right?
No, this is just what happened right now.
Really?
Maurice comes out and hits Nikki Bella with a pipe.
A pipe? Lead pipe?
Quote unquote, a lead pipe.
Damn, really?
We all know it's not lead.
Yeah, it's not. Of course, yeah.
Plastic.
Yeah, probably like plastic or probably synthetic rubber or some shit like that.
But if you remember at Elimination Chamber, which is what you were saying,
yeah,
Nikki bumps into Maurice and Maurice gets powder all over herself.
Yeah, and then she gets pissed and it's like, whoa, now she can't come out for the Elimination Chamber match.
And if you remember, who eliminated Miz?
That's right, John Cena.
Exactly. Two seeds planted right there.
Yeah. Well, I think for sure they're gonna go for that. But would you say this? I mean, here's what I can say. I think I haven't said this before. I think I've said Miz. I don't think he's a good performer. This that. I think he's actually improved a lot. I think he's actually done a lot more now. For sure, he's a good heel. But I think what they're doing with this, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Cena. Well, what about this? Cena, I think he pushed to have Bray Wyatt win the title at Elimination Chamber. I think, right? He's one of those people in favor for that.
He said on SmackDown last week in the Triple Threat, now you're a proper champ.
Yeah. Well, I think here's the thing with Cena. I think we know what kind of person he is. We know what kind of wrestler he is, right? We know, okay, this is what WWE kind of pictured him to be, and it's kind of like it kind of feels like he's trapped in that role. He can't do nothing about it. So it's like, okay, if the company wants,
he's one of those guys that can't turn heel.
He can't. He's in a trap.
If he turns heel, he's gonna be a great heel.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he is, but it's kind of like WWE, the sponsors and all that. They don't want that. They see this guy on Nickelodeon Awards and they're like, oh my god, the kids are jumping all the place. Make a Wish. They love him. Oh my god, we can't do that. And I think Cena, he wants change. I think definitely he wants some kind of change. I think how, like, look at Big Show, look at Mark Henry. These guys are booked like shit. They even say in public, we're booked like shit.
Big Show. Started one episode of Raw as a heel, turned face mid-show, and then turned heel end of show. That's 2 turns in one show. in a matter of 3 hours.
How can you have a dozen?
No one else could do that.
Yeah. How can you have a dozen heel turns in a matter of a week or a day? Let's say, like, it doesn't make any sense.
But me and you could both agree on one heel turn that was the heel turns of all time.
Yeah.
The Mark Henry one.
Definitely that whole Foster time, and yeah, that was pretty dope. I think that was definitely. But I mean, look at from there.
He had everyone believing he was retiring.
Yeah, I mean, well, think about recently also. Braun Strowman, they had this whole thing where they want to build him up to face Roman and things like that. And in the past 2 weeks, they had him face Mark Henry, buried him. Big Show buried him. So it's like, where do they go from here? Mark Henry, of course, is I guess he's just jumping around the card. And then Big Show, of course, they had this whole thing with, like, I guess Shaq. He keeps calling Shaq out.
I'm just throwing this out there. I forgot Mark Henry was still employed.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, oh man, he's not there no more. And then find out, I was like, oh shit.
I was like, he's out of the job.
Well, what about Kurt Angle? What do you think about Kurt Angle? I heard like if you saw on Twitter, he was at I think backstage taking pictures with like Howard Finkel and all that.
He wants to fight either AJ or Seth. He said.
But knowing Vince, he doesn't want that.
Well, speaking about Seth, he's going to be at Raw next week.
Really?
Yes.
Even after that injury?
Yep. I don't think it was as serious as it was.
That's right, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just...
he injured his MCL, but I don't think it was like a major MCL injury.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, from what they said, it was a torn MCL, I think. That's what they said.
I think it was just I think it was a slight tear. Coming back next week just to do an appearance. I don't think it was that bad.
Hopefully, I mean, hopefully we can see this whole thing materialize between Triple H and Seth Rollins.
I'll even take Seth Rollins for Samoa Joe at Mania. I'll take that too.
Yeah, I'll take that too. Like, might as well. Why not? But it's like, bring that in.
I mean, I have seen that in ROH and PWG, but that is Tyler Black and Samoa Joe.
Yep. But think of it as now on the big stage, the WWE sold out crowds and things like that. It'd be a big deal because think about that. Like, they started there, now they're here.
They started in front of a couple hundred people.
Yep.
Now you're gonna be in thousands of people.
Yep. I mean, well, I think here's the buzz now. You see this whole trend now with all the indie wrestlers coming in now, and they're doing this whole thing where they're building them now.
Because I just thought about it. This Mania card might actually be 95% of indie stars.
Yeah, that's right. I think indie stars are definitely gonna have a big role. I mean, like we said, it's now they're bringing more indie stars in. But think about this. 10 years from now, 15 years from now, when these guys are nearly to the end of their careers, and they're retiring, what are their Hall of Fame video packages gonna look like? It's not gonna be some generic WWE bullshit where it's like, okay, Kevin Dunn just put together some clips of them just doing some dumb shit. It's like actual fucking footage of okay, maybe indie footage, taking them through everything from the beginning to all the way to the end. I think that's what WWE is trying to shoot for, because it's like, okay, that kind of sends one message. One, there's some movement in this business. Like, you can start out as an indie star, making $10 for one show to making millions if you want. Yeah. So it's like, I guess that's what they want to do. They want to change the wrestling world around. Because look at Terry Funk.
Well, you got to think when AJ goes in.
Yeah.
Are they going to show TNA?
Yeah. Like TNA footage. Are they going to show NJPW? It's hard. It remains to be seen. I mean, of course, in other Hall of Famers and everything like that, they show WCW footage, WCCW footage. They shown pretty much, some Japanese footage here and there for some wrestlers. PWI, who knows? They might show, you never know. But I guess, this is just, what they're trying to do. I guess they're trying to follow this kind of trend where they change the wrestling business. Like, look at Terry Funk. He had his whole kind of career where he came in, retired, came in, retired, came in, retired. They did this whole Beyond the Mat thing, and he just retired right there. And then, of course, this whole thing where he had a downward spiral of his career. And then, of course, you saw the whole deteriorating health, this whole lawsuit. I guess they're trying to change the image of wrestling right now, or sports entertainment.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, we'll have to see from there. You know what's gonna happen. But
Like I was saying, with AJ going into the Hall, definitely going to mention New Japan.
And TNA.
New Japan Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champs.
Yeah. How about the Bullet Club?
Junior Heavyweight Champ.
Yeah.
Mention New Japan. They're probably going to show highlights too. But remember, TNA never existed.
Yeah, that's right. TNA never existed. I mean, unless they buy the library, you never know. I mean, it remains to be seen. 10, 15 years from now. What happened?
Months at the library.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's gonna see like what's gonna happen. How's that gonna materialize? Because of course they're making newer programming for the network, so it remains to be seen. Of course, there's like surveys and things like that. I've seen and asking fans what do they want to see. You're cutting off. Yeah, you're cutting off.
What's happening?
What happened?
Oh.
You were coming on and off, yeah. Technical difficulties here at RSN Wrestling Podcast. By the way. Shit happens, guys. No, still can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Same thing. Going back.
But like we were saying, it's only a matter of before they actually reveal is actually purchased.
Yeah. So, I mean, it remains to be seen. Like, a lot of things are remain to be seen. But, I mean, we'll have to see from there. But nonetheless, this is the RSN Wrestling Podcast. This is the shoot edition that we have right here. Again, this is pretty much where we go ahead and do a bi-weekly edition. We're going to be posting updates of pretty much when we do the bi-weekly podcast. Also, when we're going to be doing the Slammer Lammies, that's what we call them now, the year-end in review podcast, where we pretty much sum up the whole year of 2016. Nick will definitely be in there and all that. Be sure to definitely check that out. But if anything, like I said, this is the RSN Wrestling Podcast.
Check us out on Facebook, check us out on Twitter, YouTube.
Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, yep, and everything like that. Also, SoundCloud and everything like that. Also, you know, be sure to check out also Pro Wrestling Opinion, where you can get your in-depth review of pretty much all the programming that's there. AML Wrestling Live, West Coast Wrestling Connection, things like that. But of course, you know, that's basically from here. We'll see you guys out.
See you guys.